Hello everybody, it's Mystic, and welcome back to my library. This is another episode of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV 6.1, and in the last episode we got permission from Montaigne and Fortunal to go into the restricted archives of Numenon, so that is what I assume we are going to be doing next. So let's talk to Montaigne and get this going. You'll be heading directly to the archives from here, I presume. You presume correctly. Then you'll want to speak with the index page when you arrive. It's been instructed to grant you access to the restricted section. Excellent. Once again, we thank you for all your help. Oh, it was my pleasure, believe me. May you find the knowledge you seek. Thank you. I'm actually really glad we had him here because I'm not sure Fortunal would have... I can never say his name right. Fortunal would have... Well, maybe he would have. I don't know. He's come a long way. Shall we? Y'shtola is now accompanying you. Okay. To think the set of instructions I laughingly imagined may actually exist but yalms away from where you found me napping. If I had known Alzadal III's exploits sooner, I could well have saved myself days of research. Even a children's book might have pointed me in the right direction. To achieve the impossible, one must needs be flexible of mind and look beyond conventional wisdom, a lesson I had already learned but clearly not taken to heart. Archon Y'shtola and guest identified. Do you wish to proceed into the restricted archives? Follow me if you would. Watch your step and please note that the use of naked flames is discouraged. I would assume so, yes. Wouldn't be good to set all the books on fire. Ooh. I love it. Restricted books. Let's go. Can I just stay here? It's just gonna be the rest of the game for me.
If House Damia's notes are to be found anywhere, it will be here. Let us begin.
All right. I love the music. Today, in a world not my own, I met the most beautiful void-born creature. She was so unlike her ravenous brethren, eyes blazing not with hunger, but trembling like a candle's flame, threatening to flicker out at any moment. I wonder if she is even the proper word. Such distinctions seem inconsequential, insignificant even. All that matters is the love I feel for this exquisite, transcendent being. Though you are tempted to read more, this does not seem to be the volume you are seeking. In the year 1564 of the 6th Astral Era, the Amaljas summoned Ifrit, their patron god. Accounts describe the being as a gigantic, lizard-like being with a potent command of fire-aspected magics. If we consider that primal summoning is an act fueled by faith and prayer, it is unsurprising, if not expected, that the resulting deiform entity should manifest the appearance and powers with which it is attributed by its worshippers. What, then, might emerge from the ether should one who believes in an almighty omniscience attempt the same ritual? Would the scholar himself grace us with his presence? Some other embodiment of divine sagacity? Could this man-made god truly be all-knowing? And if it were, whence would such knowledge arise? I myself have many questions concerning the nature of the ancient world. With no spell to transport me back to the days of old, could I instead summon a being possessed of encyclopedic wisdom of every age? Yet with no means to verify its pronouncements, how could one be certain they were true? Though your mind spins with the possibilities discussed therein, this does not seem to be the volume you are seeking. That, kind of reminds me a little bit of Eden, because we were summoning primals, but as we remembered them, which I always thought was really cool. Or as we interpreted them, I guess is a better word. The following pages detail an advanced method for manipulating rift-spanning apertures as devised by Nuhashan, the 9th patriarch of House Daimir. This sounds promising. We present these research notes to the faculty of Sharlayan Studium as both a token of our friendship and an expression of our boundless admiration. You appear to have located the forbidden volume you seek. Y'shtola will need to make the final confirmation. Okay, let's go talk to her then. Have something you'd like to show me, do you? My apologies, I flipped open but a single book and was completely absorbed by the contents. Well done, Celeste. I think you may have found our prize.
Yes, the ether signature is unmistakable. I've felt the traces of House Damia's resonance many times at the Great Work. Time to see what all the fuss was about.
That book is really pretty. The heck is that?
Among the ranks of the Void Sent, there exist entities with the power to call forth their brethren from beyond. The species known as Atomos, however, is uniquely prodigious in this regard. From its distended maw, it can expel an endless procession of void-born creatures. A talent which sorely tested the Radiant host in its battles against these abominations. Surmising that the entity itself was acting as a void gate, we endeavored to capture a small specimen and subsequently examine its physiological structure. Our findings revealed that the Atomos had absorbed a planar fissure into its own flesh, which it could expand at will into a functioning gate.
Dang.
Upon further analysis, we identified an ethereal wave pattern emitted during this process. A pattern we were able to emulate by passing crystal-stored ether through a specially designed prism. We proceeded to embed said prism into an arcane simulacrum, thus completing what we have dubbed our artificial Atomos. How could I have been so blind to the possibilities? This species, not to mention its ability to summon void scent, has been discussed among academics for years now.
Oh, so it's known about.
Just before the advent of the 7th Umbral Calamity, we received reports of Atomos sightings from every corner of Eorzea. Surely you've at least heard the tales. And still, House Daemir went and built a mock Atomos of their very own. I'm not surprised the Archons consigned their work to a restricted archive.
Yeah.
It was no easy task, but at last we've unearthed the volume we've been searching for. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tempted to stay longer. See what other forbidden titles might be lurking on these shelves?
I know, right? I want to stay too.
But that would be abusing the very special privilege we've been granted now, wouldn't it?
I guess. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. As much as I would love to start crafting the Atomos, I'm afraid this is far outside my field of expertise. Fortunately, we know a Hanish alchemist who'd be delighted to involve herself in our House Daemir project. Oh, gee, I wonder who we're talking about. Our business here is concluded for the moment. Please pass on our regards to the forum. Your message will be conveyed should you wish to indulge in more forbidden literature. I will be here. Patron mode disabled. Security mode engaged. If anyone can help us, Nadana can. I say we return to Thavnair and look for her at the Great Work. Y'shtola tells me you are pursuing a most fascinating study, and that you want me to be a part of it. Yep. I have no doubt you will be interested. This research log should speak for itself. Will it now? By the sisters, this is the mark of House Daemir. I never even knew such a work existed. Few should. It was sequestered. Oh my gosh. I am struggling to read again. It was sequestered in Numenon's restricted archives, after all. It was, but that means every word within is forbidden knowledge. A tome filled with forbidden research, and you put it right into my unsuspecting hand? I can hardly wait to read it! I love her. I'm glad we're working with her for this. To think the Daemir were developing such marvelous techniques so long ago. How many innovations have been lost over the centuries, I wonder? Now that you've glanced over the notes, what say you to helping us build a new mock Atomos? I say yes, 1,000 times yes. Work on Daemir projects that have even the redoubtable scholars of Sharlayan trembling in their sandals, no alchemist of the Great Work could resist. You are a woman after my own heart. Oh, I suppose I should ask, what do you mean to do with this big-mouth simulacrum once we're done with it? Oh, you know, we're just gonna go to another world. So there's a secret void gate, and it's sealed in the ruins at the bottom of the bounty. Today is a day of revelations indeed. If the purpose of our man-made Atomos is to expand this hidden portal, then I will need to see it myself, I think. Manipulating rich spanning apertures is not the sort of thing you want to attempt without first taking into account every single factor. Then by all means, accompany us to the vault. I plan to lead us back there shortly, once we've finished gathering the components I require. Sharlayan's markets provided the raw aquamarine and pure water crystals, but I might need help obtaining a small quantity of the astrally infused water. For such a liquid, you need go no further than the Font of Maya. The aesthetics of old once favored the place for their meditations, and the water which pools there is known to enliven the flow of ether. This sounds perfect. If you would be so kind as to fill the flask at the pool, I will petition Vritra to join us. The idea I have in mind won't amount to much without his authority to command the Void Gate. Shall we be about it, then? We'll meet back here anon. Oh, this is the place we rescued that baby. Do you have that flask for me? Yes, this should suffice. Thank you, Celeste. Look who I came across. Astidian seemed in need of a diversion, and we, in turn, may have need of his lance. I'm always ready for Astidian to be here. Right then, now that our little party is assembled, let us make our way to the ruins. We may have need of Matzia's boat again. Will we? Never mind. Not this time. Once Yastola informed me of our destination, I arranged for a vessel to be made ready at Akiali. Your Excellency is ever a gracious host. Shall we? The ship is yours to command. Our thanks. We set sail at once. Oh, this is so exciting. Alzadal's legacy to see the truth of a legend with my own eyes. All aboard the treasure vault. For the treasure vault. I am really struggling to read. It's early. I need more coffee. What else is new?
The ruins alone were impressive enough. But I never dreamed such a treasure lay hidden in the depths of the bounty. It may have been helpful to know this device existed, Your Excellency.
My apologies. The gate was a secret I shared with none but my closest advisors. I feared for what might happen should those with ill intentions learn of its existence.
What is it you're doing now?
There's something I wish to verify. The NOAA reports claim that a short stint into the void carries little risk of etheric imbalance. Should one suffer an injury, however, or if one's expedition drags on longer than intended, that risk becomes significantly greater.
Okay.
Graha theorized that a warding scale would confer protection from the void's corrupting influence. But I would prefer to test that hypothesis before we set foot in the 13th ourselves.
Probably a smart idea.
So, this is an experiment of sorts.
Yes, an experiment. Tell me, how would you go about testing the efficacy of the warding scale?
Might as well go myself, say nothing, and look meaningfully at Astidian. Maybe send a familiar. Actually, a familiar is probably the smartest idea, right? You don't want to risk yourself.
Very good. I see you've been paying attention. As Vritra sent his simulacrum, so too shall we rely on a familiar to bear the brunt of any unpleasant consequences. Now, a lowly imp can navigate a fissure, no matter how narrow. Which means an arcane entity of similar stature should be able to manage the same.
Okay.
I hadn't wanted it to come to this, but no
Oh,
other
wait.
familiars will do.
It's going to be those
afraid.
pigs, isn't it? What were their names? Alberto? No.
I mislike the sound of that. What manner of fiend does she mean to summon?
From ocean rise and cloudbank form, from mountain spring and rainfall storm, from river flow and life be born.
Oh, wait, that was Alice's familiar.
Water, water, froth and foam!
What the heck?
Ready your arms. I fear she's been possessed.
Oh, come now. That was
It
adorable.
really was. I wasn't expecting that. Oh, wait, we fought these things before, didn't we? In Matoya's dungeon, where we summoned the Porksy Queen. Interesting. You okay, Yastola?
Though not my first choice. These familiars I conceived of as a child have the best chance of fitting through the gate.
Sorry, my phone is going nuts this morning. Okay, I've got my phone on mute now, so it won't be interrupting anymore.
I only wish my younger self had considered a more dignified ending to the creation ritual.
Oh my god, I love it though.
In any case, these two should serve us well. This one will bear a warding scale. And when they return from the 13th, we can observe how the talisman, or absence thereof, has affected the progress of the Void's corruption. If I could impose upon you to open the gate. Your Excellency?
The way he's looking at her right now.
Ah, yes, of course.
We should also be wary of void scent slipping through while we conduct our experiment. Estinian, you are to keep Nidana safe from harm.
Good choice.
As you say.
You had best be on your guard as well.
Yes, ma'am. Water, froth and... Okay. Should I? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm sorry.
Oh, are you volunteering to join the Nixies? I could shrink you down, you know.
They're not much smaller than me.
Let us begin, shall we? Nixies, into the void.
Oh my god. I want one of them. She's waving. This is the best. That sounded like Banjo-Kazooie music for a second.
I think we've waited long enough. Nixies, return to my side.
Oh, one of them does not look good. Aww. Oh no.
Thank you, little one. You did well.
Poor thing.
Oh, the poor thing. Its essence has been irrevocably warped.
The other one looks okay, though. The heck?
We're out of time. I must reseal the void gate.
They're coming through!
In the name of Alzadal III, I bar this door unto the void.
Okay, okay. I think we're okay.
Well, that was a sharp lesson in the dangers of void gates.
Yeah, I think so.
And what of our experiment? I'd say the results speak for themselves.
The unprotected Nixie has suffered extensive etheric corruption. As Nidana observed, it's well on its way to becoming a void scent.
Poor thing.
The one merged with the Talisman, however, appears unaffected. I sense no changes to its equilibrium. Rest now, little ones.
Those scales are very handy. We have used them for quite a lot of stuff at this point.
Graha's theory was correct then.
So it would seem. But while our second familiar was untouched by void energies, the talisman itself shows signs of degradation.
Oh. Well,
It
that's
was,
not
of
good.
course, originally designed to shield the soul from primal tempering. It stands to reason that etheric corruption of a different sort would affect it differently. We may need to modify the warding scale's design to account for the 13th's uniquely unstable ether.
You've said much of the Void's instability, but my imagination fails me. What manner of place is this broken world?
Yeah, I'm wondering that too.
Ah, my apologies. I forget that not all of us spend our days sequestered in dusty archives. The 13th is a reflection of the source that was drowned in a flood of darkness. In Emmett Selk's own words, this tragedy was a result of the Ascians' attempts to force a rejoining. They erred in their haste, and made of that world a useless void.
So it's basically the opposite of the first, then. I think that's been explained, right?
You remember Una Kalhai, the unusual child we met during our troubles with the Warring Triad?
Yep.
He explained the fate of the 13th thus.
Now I know how to say his name, because I never could figure it
The
out.
champions of that ill-fated world used the stone known as Auracite to contain the power of primals.
Auracite again.
But those self-same heroes were gradually corrupted by the Auracite's bleeding energies, transforming into fiends with an endless hunger for ether. By the time anyone thought to oppose them, Light's strength had grown too feeble, and the balance of the 13th tipped into eternal darkness. And what of your own experience? Will you tell us of what you observed during Noah's expedition? I can picture it now. The sunless, Stygian expanse, infested with legions of ether-starved monstrosities. A void in every sense of the word.
What you have described in such lurid detail is exactly why I hesitate to encourage you.
I appreciate that.
Worry not, great Vritra. Our journey into the 13th is but the first leg of a longer voyage. A voyage that shall lead us to other reflections, to new mysteries and discoveries. And I mean to be there every step of the way.
Yay, she's coming with us. Not that that was ever in any doubt, but, you know.
But first I must focus on refining the warding talisman.
Yes, please.
Then I can begin work on constructing an artificial Atomos. Or I could if I had the relevant manuals to hand. Might I be so bold as to request access to the Satrap's family archives? Your Excellency?
You good?
Oh, yes. That can be arranged. I will speak to my officials upon our return.
You okay there, Varshan?
We will see you back in the city then.
What's the matter? I mean, he's probably not thrilled about this whole thing, but at the same time, I don't know. Once Nadana succeeds in replicating the mock Atomos, the door into the 13th will be ours to open. Will you be crossing the threshold alongside us? I realize this is more my endeavor than yours. To be honest, I have no interest in visiting the Void myself. Might we discuss this later? There is something I must do first. Why does everyone insist on being so secretive? I at least had a good reason for not wanting to explain my Nixie ritual. Shall we proceed with our other preparations then? But Yistul, it was so cute! As we saw, the warding skill can be effective at protecting the bearer from other sources of etheric corruption. Nevertheless, the talisman's durability will need to be improved if it is to withstand the Void's influence for a prolonged length of time. And I think that this is a problem we can address without involving the brilliant but busy alchemist who created it. Who do we know who excels at this kind of structural augmentation? The Alligans, right? Or is it the Garland Ironworks? I told you, my memory, it's terrible. Perhaps they once did, but availing ourselves of— oh, that's right, they're not around. I told you! I knew this! Tend to be involved in process in and of itself. Nay, I believe a more straightforward approach is in order, consulting with the engineers of Garland Ironworks. As I recall, Sid himself is no stranger to the Void and its volatile energies. With his experienced hand at the helm, I have every confidence that the Ironworks can strengthen the warding scale. Come, let us visit their operations in Ralger's Reach and commission their best and brightest. Oh, they're still still over in Ralger's Reach? They have been there for a while now. Celeste, what brings you to the Ironworks? We have a commission for you and your president, actually, assuming he's available. Master Sid, certainly. I'll see if he has a moment free. A pleasure as always. I hear you have a job for us. Yeah, can you make a thing to keep us safe from void stuff? Heading into the void to find a lost dragon. That sounds almost pedestrian compared to your last adventure. Honestly, I don't know if you could say anything that would surprise me after Meteon and that bloody mess. We did save her though, so, you know. Alright, let's take a look at this talisman of yours. You said that there were signs of degradation. It seems some manner of corrosion has set in around a scratch on its surface, such as the void's corruption seeped into Nero through his wounds. In which case, our best bet may be to simply prevent the scale from being damaged in the first place. Well, that would be great. And how might we achieve that? We have a coating agent for strengthening trinkets and the like, but I'd be wary of applying any compound which might upset the scale's delicate alchemical balance. Far safer to dress it in armor. Is it gonna have a little helmet and a little what are they called? Cuirasses? Well, we'll construct a protective casing, one utilizing metal alloys with high ethereal conductivity so as not to impede the talisman's primary function. A suit of armor. Oh my god, I was right. Okay, as you said. Nero has compiled data on the 13th, so I'll have him pitch in with his design just to be sure. If only it weren't such an ordeal to convince him to follow our safety protocols. I swear, I've never had such a reckless employee. In any case, we may need some time to untangle the particulars. Understandable. We know how busy your schedule is, and the final result will doubtless be worth the wait. The hard part will be ducking Jessie and her constant barrage of demands while we sneak about doing fun stuff. We'll see what we can do. I think we can leave the rest in Sid's capable hands. Let's return to the great work and see how Dindana is getting on with the mock Atomos.
Ah, hey, Stola. The adjustments are going well, I hope?
Yeah, we're getting there.
'Tis a lengthy process, but the end is in sight, yes.
That's wonderful news. I myself had some good fortune searching through the Satrap's private records. What I found was a transaction log dated
That's
around the same period as when Alzadal's legacy was built. It included a purchase list of highly exclusive alchemical components, and I knew I'd discovered the key to making the artificial Atomos. I then visited the High Crucible to commission the materials. After I'd explained my requirements, I was beset by volunteers insisting I allow them to help with the entire project.
Cool.
The usual reaction to someone forcing open a void gate is to run for the hills. Harnish academics certainly are a different breed.
The alchemists of old were cut from a similar cloth. The unknown held no fear for them. Indeed, they were ever eager to seek new knowledge, regardless of the danger.
And were you not also fearless, heedless even, in your determination?
My sire entered his dormancy before I was hatched. And so it was Ashdaya who kept my eggs safe and warm. It created a bond between us. Even long after I learned to fend for myself, I rarely strayed from her side. She was my guardian, my sister, my dear companion. And not a single day passes that I do not mourn her absence.
Aww,
No matter how deep the darkness, I would not surrender my search. I promised myself the time would come when we would once more take to the skies together. But I am satrap now.
The Radiant Host is here to serve, Your Excellency.
Nabdeen, what is this about?
Sir Estinian told us of your predicament.
I was wondering if this had something to do with Estinian.
For centuries you have protected Rads at Han, never showing your true self, hiding behind a curtain and living only in service to the people. Your dedication meant more to us than your deceit, and so did we accept you as our rightful ruler. After all that you have sacrificed for this nation, did you imagine we would begrudge you your heart's desire? We survived the final days. We are a strong and proud people. We, the Radiant Host, will keep Thavnair safe in your absence.
Well, looks like he's coming with us then.
I am grateful for your loyalty and for your encouragement. And yet...
Now you listen to me, Varshan.
Sir.
You are wearing that face, after all.
Mm-hmm.
As I have told you before, you are a little brother to us all.
Even though you're a dragon.
And if you are family, then so too is your sister. We are there for you if you need us. But do not ask us to sit by and watch while you abandon a sibling you have ached to rescue for millennia.
Think he's speaking some wise words there, buddy. You need to come with us.
We will succeed in opening the way. It is only a matter of time. All you need do is prepare to step through to the other side.
Oh, hey.
Your Excellency, I wanted to thank you for building the orphanage. It means so much that my sister and I will have a place to be together, safe and happy. And I hope that you and your sister can be together again too.
Aww. I love you so much, Justinian. To protect them well, you must take heart. It's what you said to me.
Take heart and protect them well. Such were the words I once said to you. And here I stand, failing to live up to them. If my heart is torn, I am fit to protect neither Ajdaya nor Radzathan. My people, I have come to a decision. Vashan will depart Thavnair for a time. My dragon self will remain in the palace, but only to conduct the satrap's most essential duties. While I am focused on controlling this vessel, there may be matters that escape my attention.
Yeah, I imagine he can't do too much all at once, especially if part of him is in another, what's it called? Reflection?
I rely on you, my trusted friends, to watch over one another until I return.
Take care and fair fortune, little brother. Many tears would be shed should you come to harm.
I would not dare make you cry.
Aw. You surprised me, Estinian. For a lone wolf, you've showed an unusual degree of, shall we say, involvement in helping Vreetrek reach this conclusion. 'Twas for the greater good. The worm's thundering sighs were keeping his citizens awake at night, and had travelers believing the palace racked by some unnatural storm. That's totally the reason. Whatever your own answer, then. You seem disinclined to venture into the void. When I was one with Nidhogg, his vengeful thoughts were my thoughts, his endless rage my rage, and the soul-chilling grief he nursed for Reditosker's death. I would not wish such agony upon a foe, let alone a friend and ally. If there is a chance we can spare Vitra that pain, then I will follow you. Any other former scions we should call on? Just the form of a... yeah, let's do that one. I'd rather not bother our comrades with aught less than a dire threat to the star. We four should be sufficient for our purpose. Now, onto specifics. Unlike the first, where the flood of light was halted before its devastation was complete, the 13th has been utterly subsumed by darkness. My plan, as such, is to explore the void in stages, withdrawing to safety after each brief foray. 'Twould be more convenient had we some manner of base camp nearer to the gate itself. One of the palace chambers should serve. Come, let us reconvene outside Megaduda. And so we will require suitable accommodations. Might we make something available for our guests? All the chambers are presently hosting the great mounds of treasure we carried out of the vault. Once the Foundation's activities begin in earnest, however, we can redistribute the trove and make room for two ready for habitation. Good. Please inform me when you've completed the arrangements. As you heard, we will have you settled in Megaduda in due time. As ever, you are most gracious, Your Excellency. You risk yourselves to aid me in search for Asdaya. Providing comfortable quarters is the least I can do. I only wish we knew more about our destination. The gods only know how long our explorations might possibly take, or what our chances of success might possibly be. Succeed or fail, I am grateful to you for convincing me to make the attempt. On that note, I will return to the great work and lend what help I can to Nadana. If you've preparations to make ere we venture into the 13th, now is the time. All I need is my armor and my lance. Perhaps I'll train with the Radiant Host to pass the time before we depart. You know what this means to me, Celeste, but my purpose need not consume you as well. We are headed to another world. Find what joy you can in the experience, for you are a traveler, an adventurer at heart. This I know. Meanwhile, in the 13th, are we going to see Golbez again? Wait, that's not Golbez. Wait a minute. That's a Reaper's Scythe. What the hell? Why is there a hand on his head? Their head. It's...
And thus I am returned.
That's not Xenos, is it? I swear to frick...
bereft of saviors.
I think it is. What the hell? We can't be rid of him! We can't be rid of him! Are you serious? That's gotta be him! Let paths unwalked, adventure spur, pulses quicken, spirits stir. Okay, I think that is the end of 6.1. I think that's friggin' Xenos! Why can't he go away? Alright, well, that is it for now. I still have to unlock the 24-man. I don't think I'll be doing that on YouTube. I don't tend to do combat stuff on YouTube. I tend to save that for, like, off camera, just for fun stuff. So I'll probably do that. But I am curious to see how the raid goes. I'm assuming it's with Golbez because I know that is something I've kind of heard mention of a 24-man raid, and I assume that that's what Golbez is for. But I do want to do it at some point. I just have to unlock it. And yeah, hopefully you all enjoyed. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you did enjoy it. And I will be back with 6.2 when the time comes. But in the meantime, I will be putting Final Fantasy XIV on hold for YouTube. I'm still playing it offline. I do a lot of like crafting, and I have a ton of side quests that I need to catch up on at some point. But I will be back with 6.2 once that comes out, and I'll be reacting to that as well. So until next time, I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you later. Bye!